In this video, I'm going to show you how we can get from this angle to this wide angle without having to buy a brand new phone. So as musicians and performers, we've all been doing a little bit of streaming lately. And thank you very much for all your comments and questions about how to get up and running for live streaming. If you haven't seen that video, then have a look at it right here. But one thing that's being realized real quickly is how far away you have to put a device to fit everything in the frame. And from that, you can't see things like comments because the device is too far away if we're using things like an iPhone or if you're using a laptop. Now, if you're lucky enough to have something like a GoPro that can stream live, or something with an ultra-wide lens like the iPhone 11 series, you can use that lens to its full effect. But then comes another problem. You can't see the screen. That lens is on the back of the phone, and therefore we can't see the screen because it's turned 180 away from us. Now, if you're using the built-in camera that comes with your computer, for example, that's great. You can actually see the screen and see what's happening. But the comments become really, really small for you to read, especially if you're balancing it on something or you're just trying to get everything fitted into that box. Certainly for me, if I'm live streaming, I want everyone to see what I'm doing. If I'm doing live looping, you can see that really, really clearly. But also, I want to make sure I don't miss anyone out if they request a song or if they're just simply saying hi. So what could we do? We could go out and spend hundreds of pounds on a action camera, which has got a wide angle lens. We could go and spend even more money on a brand new iPhone or a brand new Android phone with a wide angle lens. Or you could even go and get a webcam, which the wide angle ones, you can spend again a couple of £100s. But luckily there is an option where you can just use your existing phone or your laptop and just make the camera wider. And it's a wide angle lens with a universal mount, and it's called the Webcam set made by Moment. And this is it. For those who aren't familiar with the company Moment, they are a company who've made a name for themselves in the mobile photography and film industry. They make loads of different lenses, things like wide-angle lenses, anamorphic lenses, and by using your existing camera and then adding the lens on top, you can make things look more cinematic, you can make things look macro where you zoom right in, or in this instance, make it wider. So what Moment have done is they've taken one of their lenses. This is the 18mm wide-angle lens, and this clamp is a universal clamp. You can see how easily I've just taken that off there, and you can just twist this back on, and this universal clamp can pretty much clamp on to anything. So when I spoke to Moment about this idea, they never really thought about it from a streaming point, from a musician's or performer's standpoint. If you think about it, we're using the phone right now. I'm using this phone right now, which is an iPhone 10. The really interesting part about this right now is this is the selfie camera. I'm not using the external camera, which is the better camera, but I'm using this at 1080 right now, and I can put this on and actually make it a lot wider. Let me show you. So now I've put the lens actually on the camera, and you can see how much wider this is. You're getting a bit of a shot of my room at the moment, but I normally film with this blue curtain, and you can see the edges of the curtain. That's how wide it is. The other thing you can see as well is the microphone. But what I wanted to do was just grab the guitar just to show you that actually I'm going to stand in exactly the same place I've been standing before, and all of a sudden you can see me, so much so that you can see this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this down a little bit, and I'm just going to re-angle this just so it's right. There we go. We've got nice focus there. There we go. Cool. So now you can see me playing, and the guitar is a little bit out of focus, but you can see me playing, and then I can actually still see the screen very, very well because I'm a lot closer. Now this clamp is what they call the O series. This is their original series, and this is for clamping onto slightly older phones. They have now what's called an M series clamp as well, and that is for going onto newer phones. The reason for it is because things like iPhone and Android, they started using bigger sensors in their camera, and actually it gives you a little bit of a wider hole to go over the lens so you don't get that corner vignetting. Now the reason I've chosen to go with this older one is because they have it as a kit, and that kit is really cheap. This set is at the moment just above $60. Now to give you an indication of distance, I normally stand about here when I do some filming, and I'm around about 1.5 feet away from the screen, maybe 2 feet actually, and the microphone is just there. If I stand a little bit closer, I'm actually in front of the microphone, so you probably can't hear me as well, but you can see how much width we've actually got here. Now to get that real nice look, what we can do is we can still zoom in and pinch, but we've still got a wide angle lens view. So if I was to just pinch in a little bit there we go, it does cut off the corners on the O lens. If you had the M lens for a later phone, that would work really nicely. Okay, so that's using the phone. What about using something else? Let's try a different device. So this is my iPad. It's an iPad Pro. It's a 12.9 2018 version, which is the 3rd gen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this onto the selfie camera, which is just here. And all you do is literally slide that on and we just screw that into place. There we go. Now it's starting to get a little bit tight now, and that's great. And all we need to do then is slide this up so it's in place. I've got it on screen recording just using the normal camera right now, and I'm holding it just about arm's length, and this is the view you're getting. And what I could do is I could move that even further back just to show you what it looks like without the lens. I'm going to take it off right now. As I take it off, that's how close I really am. So this thing is really, really useful because we can extend that. If I had this up somewhere, it's a nice big screen. That's great. A little bit like a laptop where I could actually do streaming and I could get that real nice big screen. I could see people's comments, but at the same time, I can get more in the image. Now, if you're doing a performance and you're plugging things like an iPhone into things like a computer for OBS, or you're using NDI, which is the way you can stream it. If you haven't seen that video, how you can do that, you can use your phone as a webcam for OBS, then click this button and you can watch that. But let's just say you're doing that. What you could do is you could use your camera on your computer as your main one, and you could use this one as the second camera. You could have a secondary camera like at a slight angle, looking at all your equipment, looking at you performing. It's having 2 cameras in the room, but then having this on this camera means that it's really, really wide. Now, the alternative option with Moment is, of course, you can get one of their cases, and then you can attach these onto the cases. Be aware with the M series and the O series, make sure you get the right case. The great thing with this adapter is it's just a universal adapter. You can add it onto anything. So if you've got a laptop, as I say, you could just pop it onto the existing webcam, line it up, and you're good to go. Now, the downside, if I'm honest, is it means that you take a little bit more prep time, but once it's actually on there, that's it. It's solid as a rock. Once you kind of screw it into the back, it doesn't move. Now, the metal adapter that you put the lens onto has a rubber part at the top and also on the back of where the lens goes. So I feel very confident actually putting it on things like my iPad or my phone or even a laptop without worrying about it scratching. In the description box below, there are a couple of links to the Moment Webcam Kit. I'm going to put up 2. I'm going to put up the M series and the O series, so the newer version and the older version. As I say, the older version at the moment is about $65, if that, and it's a fantastic bargain if you're not in the market for getting like a brand new phone or a GoPro, but you do want to make that scene that you're creating wider. So my question to you is, would you use it or would you not use it? Let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't yet already and you've seen a couple of my videos, consider subscribing to the channel. There's lots of different things about live streaming as well as music tech and looping. And if you want to support me a little bit further, you can do. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. All the links are in the description box below. A very big thank you to everyone who has supported me so far. And if you want to have a look at another set of videos, I've set up a playlist of all the videos I've done about streaming and streaming from home and staying at home. So just click that video that you can see right now. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.